Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alda Alfiana Hilal, but you can call me Alda. Well, in this presentation, I will explain a little about Egypt and its culture or customs, so that if you visit it, at least you understand a little about culture or habits. Background of Egypt. Egypt was also the first country in the world to recognize Indonesian sovereignty on 17th of August 1945. With an area of about 997,739 square kilometers, Egypt covers the Sinai Peninsula, considered part of Southwest Asia. While most of its territory is located in North Africa, Egypt is bordered by Libya to the west, Sudan to the south, the Gaza Strip, and Israel to the northeast. Its borders with waters are through the Mediterranean Sea to the north and the Red Sea to the east. Egyptians live on the banks of the Nile. Most of the land is part of the Sahara Desert, which is rarely found. Egypt's population adheres to Islam. Egypt is famous for its ancient civilizations and some of the world's grandest ancient monuments, such as the Pyramids of Giza, Temple of Karnak, Valley of the Kings, and Temple of Ramses. In Luxor, the city in the southern region, there are approximately ancient artifacts that account for about 65% of ancient artifacts worldwide. Next, traditions and culture of Egypt. First, warmth and hospitality. Egypt has amazing natural, historical, and cultural attractions, so tourism is one of the main sources of income, especially before the revolution. Egyptians are friendly, open to other cultures, and known for their good hospitality. So, do not be surprised if people invite you to their homes and insist that you accept the invitation. The second is family. When it comes to family affairs, family is very important for Egyptians, so they pay special attention to family values and relationships. This great bond between family members encourages children to live with their parents until they get married, and then start their own families. Therefore, marriage rates are high and families encourage and financially support their sons and daughters to get married. Usually, the responsibilities are divided, so home and childcare are the main responsibilities for women, while men are responsible for supporting the family financially. The third is celebration. Speaking of parties, Egyptians love celebrations. Close and extended family members and friends gather during holidays and special celebrations. Due to their love of food, all celebrations include sharing special meals prepared for the occasion. Women usually take pride in their ability to cook several dishes and compete among themselves for who makes the most delicious dishes. Restaurants are one of the most flourishing business as Egyptians like to try new cuisines and they appreciate a good meal. The fourth is religion. Religion plays a big role in the life of Egyptians, and it is intermingled with daily activities of Muslims and Christians living in Egypt. You can see this clearly during Ramadan, Eid, and Christmas, where festive spirits are everywhere. Mosques are around every corner, so walking down the streets of Egyptian cities, you can hear the call to pray during the 5 prayer times per day. Although Egyptians use the Western calendar, they refer to the Islamic calendar for Islamic religious holidays, and Ramadan is the most important month in the year. During this month, Muslims fast from sunrise to sunset, focusing on praying and doing charity work. Streets and homes are decorated to celebrate the occasion, and special meals are prepared. Next, cultural shocks that Indonesian students often experience. Number 1 is jet lag. This is not a culture shock, but it must be experienced because of the very significant time difference between Indonesia and Egypt. The time is 5 hours, so don't be surprised if you are very sleepy at sunset in Egypt. This usually happens 2 or 3 days depending on your body. Number 2 is season. So the seasons here are divided into four, namely summer, autumn, winter, and spring, where summer usually occurs in May until July, while autumn, August until October, winter, November until January, and spring, February until April. In Egypt, there are frequent sandstorms and rains that rarely fall in a year, can even be counted on the fingers. And number 3 is language. In Egypt, the official language is Arabic, but the people there use the Ammiya language, where Ammiya is Arabic, but it is very different from the Arabic we often use. Next, habit in Egypt. Number 1, the habit of wearing shoes because the situation there is a lot of dust and sand. Number 2, take a bus. There is no public transportation that rides a motorbike to carry passengers because it is considered a disgrace. Number 3, it's better to eat while standing than to squat because squatting for the Egyptian people is a disgrace. Number 4, Egyptian staple food is easy bread, and don't be surprised if you shop for spicy food but it tastes sour. Number 5, there is no sarung or mukana available in the mosque because the people there pray by wearing clothes that are attached to their bodies, which of course remains Shari, and for women only a date with socks, and of course the clothes are also Shari. That's why it's important to learn the culture or customs of foreign people so that we don't get confused and experience culture shock. And before we end this presentation, it will be nice to see a little view of the country we are discussing. Of course, not only filled with deserts, but also beautiful buildings. Let's check it out. We are made of each other, baby.